this sucks. How I feel right now, it sucks. This is really just like a mental challenge. I don't think I at least have gotten any worse. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Where do I begin? There's not even anything to begin. I just yeah. Slightly different note than the last video. I want to apologize for that, but I can't do anything about it, and I have apologized too much my entire life for things I never should have apologized for, so I'm not going to apologize. Good morning. Good morning. Let's start again, shall we? I've been sick for at least 1.5 weeks now. It has been the coldest winter that at least we've experienced here. Like, I don't think it's very unnormal to have these cold temperatures in this part of the country, but this is, well, kind of new to us. We've been dealing with... Bam just bumped his head into the tripod. Good job, buddy. You gonna keep me company? It's been about, like, the last couple of days, the coldest it's been is minus 35, 36, I think. Which is like, you know, that's kind of chilly. Sorry. That is all fine and well if you at least have a warm home to go to or to be in during these temperatures, but that has probably been the worst with the last week or the last 1.5 weeks, is that our heating system is broken. So our house has been dealing with about 8 to 12 degrees Celsius inside. And I do have a fireplace, but this house is kind of a DIY. A lot of things are DIY, including this fireplace, so it doesn't work very well. It only gives heat when you sit really close to it like I'm doing now. And our heating system is broken, and it's just been really cold. It's just been really cold, and yeah, I just feel a little sad, very cold and overwhelmed, just being sick and walking around with this really just so cold at your core everywhere you go. I have to say that the energies from the last video definitely like creeped a bit to the background during those days. Yes, this sucks. How I feel right now, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. I want to feel a bit more inspired and motivated. And even though I don't think, you know, I should rely on motivation and excitement to do things, you know, it's lovely when it's there. And I know I can train myself to feel it more often. And if I don't feel it, I need to go do something that perhaps sparks it. And now Bam is playing with his blanket. So the mission of this video, the next few days, is to find a little bit of a spark again. Just a tiny spark to reawaken some excitement feelings and some creative feelings and all that jazz. Buddy! Emma! Emma! What are you doing?
It's strange, isn't it, that our mind still expects unrealistic things of us when our circumstances don't align with these expectations. In my case, it's sickness and the cold and asking more of myself than I know I can do. In your case, it may be struggles with a low mood, not knowing where to start, putting unnecessary pressure on yourself, not listening to your inner voice. Yet, despite knowing these things, we have these expectations towards ourselves that, okay, I now need to go back to the productive mode because the festive season is over, normal life is returning, people have their jobs, their to-do lists, their routines, and I should in some way mirror that, shouldn't I? Because it's the norm. That's just how it is. One belief I desperately want to clear from my consciousness is that I don't need to live like everybody else. I already don't, and I can't. I've in fact never been able to. My life until now hasn't been applicable to the norm, yet I've always had the expectations to one day make it that way, to live in the same structure as everybody else. That is what society expects of us anyway. That is what you do when you're a healthy person. And I've always been this strange lazy one for not being able to live up to that, right? No, that is actually wrong. I don't need to, and ultimately don't want to live like everybody else. And my first act of standing up for myself in this regard is by taking a deep breath and just resting for as long as I need.
Hello. Just trying to give you the most flattering angle, though I'm not feeling very flattery today. I don't feel very flattery today. Give me a moment. Hello. I hate saying this, but I'm not in a good headspace. I just feel sad and completely overwhelmed. I'm thinking about all the things I should do, all the things I want to do, all the things I should be able to do. And as a result of that, I'm not doing anything. I think I've spent the last 1.5 hours literally walking around the living room procrastinating. I have zero faith in myself right now. Because I haven't created anything in several weeks, I feel like I've lost all the ability to do anything. And I'm just scared to pick up the pencil and see the result of that. And I know this is really just like a mental challenge. Where I know it's wrong. These thoughts are wrong. If I pick up the pencil now and draw a head, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to draw a pretty decent head. But just picking up the pencil is really hard. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you real quick. My future sister-in-law gifted me a really beautiful necklace as a new life gift. And I've just been like chewing on this mantra, because it has a quote on it. Been chewing on it ever since I got it. I'm not sure if you can read it. Let's see. It says, "She believed she could, so she did. She believed she could, so she did." I think that is like the key, that I really need to learn how to believe in myself. I need to learn how to believe in myself. That's how I create the environment and the headspace that I want to live in. I'm trying to think, how can I trick my brain into just do something artistic to get over that hurdle so that I at least can start somewhere. So I'm just going to I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to pick up the pencil and just draw some stuff. Just some random, even if it's just a stick figure. I'm gonna draw something. I have to, because if not, I'm gonna be stuck in this procrastination, running away mode. I don't want to be there.
As I am recovering from these weeks with sickness, being cold and in a low mood, rather than focusing on all the things I want to and need to do, I'm trying to give myself more space in the weeks and the months to come. Rather than making specific plans, I'd rather dream a little more, envision a little more. If I were to do things that serve my potential, what would I truly love to work on? What would a 10-year plan for reaching this potential look like? Because another funny thing is, we think we're constantly in a rush. And by rushing through life, trying to achieve things rapid fire, we don't actually experience life for what it is. A journey where every moment is as important as the other. Rather than speeding up my productivity, I'd like to spend more time on the few things I do feel inclined to do. To be more present, to find more space for the present, to make more time for life itself. Which is something I've talked about pretty often on here, I think, but I always seem to forget my own intentions to do so.
Good evening. It's a couple hours later. And I have not felt very inclined to pick up the camera. I just haven't. But I did what I said I would do. I picked up my pencil and I drew. Nice rhyme. I did what I set out to do. I picked up my pencil and I drew. Just some quick sketches. I'll show you just to prove to you that I kept my word to myself. I gave myself 5 to 7 minutes to get some gestures in and some heads. And I'm happy to have seen that, Can you see it? There we go. I was relieved to find that, I don't think I at least have gotten any worse. I still remember things from how to do gestures, how to draw a head. They are not perfect. I have so much technical stuff to learn, and that's an overwhelming thought. But, so fine, I'm not in a rush. So I managed to do that. I'm feeling like absolute shit. Yeah. What more is there to say? I feel like absolute shit, and I don't even feel like I have an apparent reason for it other than, once again, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm overwhelming myself. I'm struggling to have a hold of the negative thoughts, of the things that I don't want in there. They have a lot of power today for some reason. And I'm just throwing in the towel, so okay, fine. Let's just have it in there. And the biggest counter thought I can have is, it's not true. All these shitty things I'm hearing in my head, they aren't true. I am not able to convince myself of it right now, but I keep saying it's not true as a mantra, and then I hope that it can become like a more natural, automatic counter thought as I continue to do it. Does any of this make sense? I don't know. But that is my extent of my battle skills today. I'm just so sick of feeling this way, that's all. It's upsetting. I am getting annoyed at myself that I can't fight myself better. But that is all counterintuitive, self-destructive stuff. And the best thing I can do today is just say it's wrong and then go do something. just go do something, trying to get my mind off things. I want hot chocolate, so I think I'm going to do that. And we'll see if I'm going to do this, I'm not sure, but maybe I'll go paint. Just keep going. We just keep going. We keep going.
Where I live, in this part of the world, the winters are so long and so cold, but instead of trying to push myself to do things during this time that are unreasonable, I want to learn how to live more with the seasons, embracing the cold and the slowness and even the exhaustion that it brings. There are many lessons and revelations to be found here. Not all the lessons we learn come from past experiences. Many of them are right here, right now, in nature, in the people we are surrounded by, in the mundane everyday tasks, and even in the tiny rebellious efforts to live a little differently. These last few days that I filmed were no fun, but one thing that I am proud of is how I handled them. Accepting the emotions and the fog in my mind, yet also knowing that these days will pass. I managed to be in the discomfort, but I also held on to the knowing that my worth and my capability to do things isn't defined by those nothing days. As I'm telling you these things, I found the spark and excitement again that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I am very much looking forward to sharing this excitement with you and the new projects which I secretly have in mind. Also, the most important thing in this video, at least for me personally, is that I think that the heating system is finally fixed. Like, this has been a battle for 2 years to keep this house warm, for 2 years with a heating system that hasn't done what it was supposed to be doing. And it seems like we've figured out the problem, and that would be just such a relief. We are entering another week with -20, -30 degrees Celsius here, so yeah. Let's just pray that this heating system keeps working. That would be such a blessing. I'll leave you here with a tiny reminder to listen to your heart and nourishing your soul with thoughts and emotions that truly serve you. You are beautiful, you are worthy, you are lovable and magical exactly how you are. I appreciate you all so much. All my love and light to you always. And I hope you want to become a part of this tiny community here. I'd love to have you. Yeah. See you next week, my Traveler of Worlds.